Hello, and how are you? My name is Mahid Mbarak, and I welcome you to our 8th video of learning how to make web applications using Laravel. In today's video, we're going to proceed from where we stopped at in the previous video. And if you still remember properly, in the previous video, we looked at Laravel models, and we got a little bit deep into Laravel models. So in this video, we're going to proceed exactly from how we stopped at, and we're going to go much more deep by using or by looking at Laravel Eloquent or Laravel model. So in the previous class, we covered these, okay, and I hope you are following and I hope you're practicing. If you didn't, I recommend you to practice or go back and watch and practice. But if you're already okay with where we are right now, no worries, you can still proceed with us. So with that much said, let's go straight into business. So we had our model that we're working with, which is the news category model. Now we're going to proceed by looking how, and we looked at the order by, whether I can order by a specific column and then either by ascending or descending. So right now we're going to look at the limit. So the limit is in case you want to limit how many results should come back, use what? Use limit. So let's go ahead and see how that can be done. So let us say that we have no condition and then we just practicing what? Limit. So limit, if I come here and refresh our project, you can see we have all of them coming. Now what if we need to limit, maybe we want only maybe 2 to come? What we do, we just simply put here a condition like this, okay? We just add a condition and say limit, and then in fact it is before get, and then you specify here how many you want to come back. So if I put here 2 and come and refresh, you'll see only 2 will come. So if I put maybe 4, it means that maximum of 4 will come or will be brought back. So that is how we use limit in Laravel. So you can also use it creatively in your different projects. So let's go ahead and see how you can get a specific item. Okay, for example, another way of how you can query, let us say that you want maybe only a specific item with a specific ID or by its use of primary key. So to do that, I can as well come here and say maybe I want an item which has an ID of what? Of a 1. Okay, so if I come and do like this, of course I'll get this item as 1. But the other way around is that in case you want only to query something by an ID and you want it to be 1 or by its primary key and you want it to be exactly 1, so instead of doing this, there's a simpler way of doing that. So what you do, this one is going to return you a single record. So it's going to be news category, and then instead of writing all these, you don't write those one, you don't even write get, you just put open bracket like this, and then put here find, and then you put here the ID. So it will look for the primary key of that table and search for an item with this particular ID that you've passed, and then it will not return for you, it will not return to you what? It will not return to you an array. It will return to you a specific object that you've asked for, okay? So it means that it will be only one object, not a list of them like the way it was doing on where. So it will not be good to loop here. It will, if the object does not exist, it will return null. So what you do, you just check if this item is not equal to null. Okay, so if it's not equal to null, then you can go ahead and display it. I hope you are together and I hope you have understood. I don't know where this error is coming from. Okay, I've not opened your bracket. Okay, so if it is not null, then you go ahead and make use of that. So it will return for you an item, and you don't put get, you don't put what, you just simply say find. So it will look for us an item with this ID. Of course, you cannot say find and then you put a name, but it will allow to find using what? Using an ID of that particular model. So if we refresh, you see, I have only this one of politics. So if I put maybe 5, so you'll see, I have that on 5. If I put an ID that is out of range, it will return null, and you'll see this condition will be skipped. So that is how we use find. So we have another one called find or fail. So find or fail, it will look for something. So if it does not find it, it will throw what? An error. So if I put 14, you see, it is bringing the not found error. Why? Because it is found, and if it failed, it will just show that it was not found. So that is called find or fail. Okay? So you can also make use of it. So in case maybe an item you don't want that page to be shown, if that ID was not found, you just put find or fail. So if it does not, if it is not found, it will do what? It will fail. So we can proceed to another thing, which is aggregates. Okay. So what if you want to count? What if you want to get a sum of specific items? So we can use what we call aggregates. Okay. So to use aggregates, assume that you will need to sum maybe the IDs of one of this news post. So what you do, we just simply put the item, and then you can put as well, either you can as well use where, and then open the bracket like this, and then put say get, and then you get them. So here, when you're getting them, you can as well do like this and say sum, and then you specify what you need to add. So I can say I need to add an IDs, since the IDs are the one which are integers. So let me go ahead and D here and see what we've got. So I save, I refresh. So what they're saying, you cannot use get on sum. You just simply put sum. Yes, that is true. So you can see 15. So it returns only the what? The number. Okay, it returns only the number, the total. So I put here maybe sum, and then put maybe echo, and put the sum, and then maybe BR tag like this. Okay, so there it will get for us a what? It will get for us the sum of IDs. So you cannot say sum of names, because the name is a what? Is a character. Let us try to see name. It returns for us a 0 because names are in character. So you see, that is how you can sum items. So it can sum total, you can sum whatever thing that you do that you want. So another thing that we're going to look at is how to get an average. So to get an average, you just simply put AV average. Is it AVG or average? I don't know, I'm not sure. It's AVG, right? So you just simply put AVG, and then you pass the ID whose average should be got. So put AVG and pass the ID of the average should be got, and then it will bring you the what? The average. Okay, so I hope you've also seen that. Hello, and I have a challenge that I faced here. I checked my microphone and it stopped recording. So I went ahead and continued writing code, but the microphone had stopped recording the audio. So I'm going to explain the code that I had written, and the microphone stopped recording from here at average. So let me start from here, but I hope you'll watch carefully. You practice what I'm going to explain, even though I have written it already. So let me first comment this top code so it should not confuse us. Okay, so I'll come to our project and refresh. So I think you have understood how you find sum and how you find average. So to find average, you can see it is just your model. You rate your model, and then you put the where condition, and then you put the item that you want to find the average for, and then to return for you a double value. Okay, so that's how we find average. So the next thing, we are going to look at how we can query with the where. With the what? With the scope. So to query with scope means that you can implement, you can implement things such as greater than, less than, or greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. That is as querying with scope. So to query with scope is just simple. You just write your variable that is going to receive the condition, or the results, and then write your model and then put where. Now here it is different from the one that we knew, the one where we could pass an array. This one is different. What we do here, you pass single variable. It takes 3 parameters. So the first parameter is the column. So you can say where ID, then you put the column, and then you put the condition. So you can say where ID is less than, so you put less than like this, then you put 1, and then you do the get, you put the get. So in this scenario, it will get for us the IDs where, it will get for us the categories whose IDs are less than 1. So if I come here and refresh, you can see there is nothing in the query scope. So if I say maybe where IDs is less than maybe 4, so it's going to get for us categories whose ID is 1 and 2 and 3, and then 4 will not appear. Why? Because 4 is not less than 4. 4 is equal to 4. So if you come and refresh, you can see we're having this one, and this one, whose IDs are less than 4. So that is how you query by using a less than or equal greater than. So if I put less than or equal to like this, what will happen? It will even include the 4. So if I put greater than 4, so it's going to bring for us IDs greater than 3. It's going to bring for us item with IDs greater than 3. So that is how we do what? We do implement, that is how we do implement the query scope, where you can put less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, and there are so many. You can find them on the Laravel documentation. Okay, not equal to, for example, I can say I want all, but I don't want the one whose ID is 3. So I can do like this, not equal to. Okay, so this one will bring everything but will leave out 3. You can as well do like this, not equal to. That will give you the same results. You see, it brings everything but not bring what? 3. So that is how you implement the query. It's the same, but only here it takes parameters, 3 parameters, whereby the first one is the name of the whatever you want to query, the second one is the condition, and then the third one is the value. Okay, so that is how we query with the scope. So we proceed to another thing, which one is the like. So the like, we use it to find something that is existing in a certain column. For example, I want to get something that is like, I want to get a category whose name has maybe ent, something like that. Okay, I want to get categories which have the names ent. So to do that, you do the same, just like the way we've been doing, but the only difference here is, what is this curly bracket? I think I have to close it. Okay, so the only difference here is you have to write it like this. You put the whatever column that you want to search in, and then you put the word like, and then you put percentage. So, and then you put here what you're searching, and then you put a percentage at last. So there it will search anything which has the word ent in its name. So if you want to say it must start with maybe ent, okay? So what you do, you put percentage at beginning. So it means that it will bring things that starts with what? With ent. So you put percentage at last, it will bring things that start with what? With ent. Okay? So you see, entertainment. So if I want something that ends with maybe T, so I put T and I put percentage at first. So it means that dash 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 and ends with T. That's what it means by percentage. So it will bring that one. So if I want things that end with L, so it will bring something like that, you see. So if I want something that starts with the maybe letter I, so I can put I and then put percentage like this. So it will bring for me things that starts with I. So that is how, if I want like to search in the whole string regardless of whether it begins or ends, so I can just put equal sign. I mean double. I mean I can put I can put percentage on both sides. So if I search, you'll see it will bring for me categories which have letter I. You cannot see the word local. I mean the category, the letter local, it does not have an I, you cannot see it. So that is how we use the like, okay? You just put where and put where in the column that you want to search in, and then put like, and then do this one. So this one can help you when you're creating maybe a search engine, something like that. Okay, so another thing that we're going to look at is the append. So append is a very important thing. But before we look, yeah, it's a very important thing. It is muted. I think muted. Look at it on top. Okay, let us first look at append. So append is very important thing. Is a way how you can add another variable that is not in your columns of your table on a model. For example, here we're going to demonstrate how you can add, for example, a short name of a name on the model without manually doing it. Just put it only one time in the model. So to do that, you have to append. Or you have to add that model, or you have to add that parameter on your model, and then give condition of what should be represented by that parameter. So to do that, you go to your model. This is my model, and then you write protected. You just add this parameter like this. Okay, you override this, what you call override. Just write the protected, and then write the variable with $sign append, and then say equal to. So here you put things that you want to add on your model. For example, if you remember, our category did not have the word short name, or did not have a column called short name. Then you put it there. So if you have more than one thing that you want to add on your model, you can just put comma and then add it there, just like the way it sounds, appends. So here I'm adding short name. Then after writing short name, the next thing you have to write the condition that the method that will be overridden when this short name is being accessed. So you just simply write it like this. Let me explain it. You say get, and then you put in capital letter, then the name. Then the name of that variable in camel case. So the name of that variable must begin with the list first with capital letter, and everything that is followed by underscore it should also be replaced by the capital letter. So it is get, then short name like this, you see. So this one is short name. So I just change this one from snake case to camel case, and then add the word attribute. So by doing like that, you can define of what should be represented there. Okay. So for me, I'm just saying substring. So I'm making a substring of the name. So this is the name of this particular variable this particular mode that is being called. So it can be name, it can be what. I just simply put this and then whatever thing that you want to abbreviate. So you can do here any kind of logic that you want. And then I say begin from 0 up to 3. So it should generate for us the short name like that. So it means that I don't need to again save this short name on database, but this short name is going to be added to this particular variable, or the variable of this model. So to access this one, it is simple. So you see here, when I'm looping, I'm just displaying short name. So this one will, as it is there. So this one will go ahead and call this one and then generate the short name and then give it back. And always remember to do what? To return. So you can think creatively of how you may need to add more attributes on your model without even defining them on what? On database. So if I come here and refresh, you can see append. So we have Paul, we have Ent, we have, so everything that was on the names of our the names of our model have been abbreviated into 3 letters by the use of what? Of append. So that's what append does. It adds more variables to your model, and that's how you add them, as I've explained. So pause the video and try to do it and see if you can manage. So that's what I meant by appending. So after looking at appending, we are going to look at another thing. I hope you've understood it and I hope you've tried it. So you can try as many as you want to make sure that you understand, because it's very important. When you proceed to do the UL project, you'll see how it will be important. So another thing that you're going to look at is the mutator. So what is a mutator? A mutate, just like the way it sounds, a mutate is a way how you may need to present your value before it is displayed or before it is exported from the model. You will mutate it. You'll make it change. Others call it getters, okay? So what if I want, or for example, you see here, we are displaying all the names, okay? They are just okay. But what if I want these names before they come out of the model, before they are accessed, they should be changed to capital letter. So it means that I will need to mutate them, okay? So to do that, what you do, you go to your model, and then you write a mutation of that particular item that you want to mutate over that particular attribute. So this is how you write it. You just simply write the word get, and then you put the name of the column that you want to mutate, or the name of the parameter that you want to mutate. And it should be like this. It should be in camel case. You know our name is just a small letter, in small letters. But here, if you want to mutate the name, you have to change it to what? To camel case. So you say get, and then put the name, and then the word attribute, just like the way we did here. But here, we're not going to add it in appends. Why? Because it's already in our what? It's already in our database. Okay, or in the table of our database. So here, after, the next thing, you now have to put the condition that you need to do. So here, you can do the logic. You can do the logic that you want. Here, you can do the logic that you want before you send back this name to wherever they are calling it. And this variable, you will receive it from here. Okay? So here, I can do the logic. So for example, here, I'm going to change this name to uppercase. Okay? str upper, and then maybe I can even add a full stop. I can do anything before this name is getting used, okay? So it is just a getter. So when someone will call this name, so before I do anything on it, before they access it, I can do anything here, and then I send it. Okay, so you can see here, I've just say str to upper. I'm changing the name to uppercase. So even though in database it is in lowercase or in any other case, but before they access it, it will be changed to uppercase, and I'm adding there even a full stop. So here I'm just trying to demonstrate that you can do anything that you want to an attribute before it is accessed. So if I come here and refresh, if you still remember our attributes, they were in small letters. Now you see, they're being changed to capital letters. The name attribute. I can even say maybe str to lower. Okay, so if I say like this, I refresh. Now everything has been changed to lowercase. So it does not limit you from that. You can do so many things from here, and send an attribute by just saying return, and then it will be mutated, or it will be changed to whatever you've decided it to be. I can as well return it as it is by just simply putting here return. But the whole point is this method will be first called and executed before it is what? It is returned. So if I refresh like this, it is just becoming the exactly same name. So that's what we call mutators. Okay, so you can also try it by trying to mutate any value that is in your column of your table. Mutate it, change it to anything that you want. Just try it. Okay, so that is one. Another thing that we're going to look at is, so I've seen how we can mutate, how we can append, and how we can create like. So another thing that we're going to look at is the what? The hooks. So the hooks, these are events, or they are methods that are called when an event happened. For example, we have different types of hooks. We have the let me show you the examples of hooks that we have. These are the types of hooks that we have. So we have creating, we have created, we have updating, we have updated, we have deleting, we have deleted. So this creating hook will be called, can be called when a model is being created. And then we have, when the model is being created, so before it is saved on database, the creating hook will be called. This created hook will be called after the model has been created or after the model has been saved to the database for the first time. And then updating hook, it can be called when a model is being changed or it is being updated. And then updated will be called when the model has finished being updated. We have update deleting, it will be called when someone is about to delete or when a model is about to be deleted. And then deleted, it will be called when a model has finished being deleted. So you can listen to these hooks and do a lot of things that you may need to do. For example, you want to check if a name is already existing in the database before it is being saved. You can use this creating hook. If you want to check maybe name if it's already created before it's being saved on database, you can use this created hook. I mean, for example, after something that has been created, if you want to do maybe, let's say that after user has been registered, you want to send them a welcome email. So you can put that listener in what? In the created hook. Maybe if the user has been logged in, maybe has updated his password and you want to send them that their password has been updated as a warning email, you can use this one, updated what? Updated hook. So now the question is, how can you create these hooks on a model? So what you do, you go to the model. For example, you can see here, I'm in my new category model. And then you write this. You write public static function boot, like the way it is, open bracket and close, then open curly bracket and close it. Then after, you write parent, then the 2 colons and then boot and then 2 colons and then semicolon here. So after, you can now start putting the listeners that you want. It's not necessary that you put all of them, but you can put the one that you want. For example, this is the listener for creating. Okay, so this event or this listener will be triggered when the event of creating is being done. So it means that when someone will be creating the category or the new category will be created, this creating event will be triggered. So here I can decide either to continue or to cancel that creation. So for example, here, what I'm doing here, I'm listening to the creating event. And what I'm doing, I'm first checking if there is any other model which has the same name. And if it is there, I return false. So if you return false, it means that it will be cancelled. And if you want to access the item that is being created, you just simply receive it on this point or in this variable that you put here. So here you can receive an item that is being created or its data that of an item that is being created. You can receive it from here. Just that's why you see I'm getting the first model. This is how you get the first item, which has the name of this particular name. So I'm checking if it returns for me something that is not null, then it means that there's already a category which has the same name. I just return false. I even showed you how you can throw an error. This is how you throw an error. Okay, so I just return false. Returning false means that you have cancelled. It should not save it, or it should not save those changes. So if it is okay, I return back the model. So let us go ahead and create a new category and we see if it will save it. So we come here and we create a new category by just simply saying model, new category. You know how we create something and then we save. So it is saving for the first time. So if I come and refresh, you'll see we are remaining with 11 categories. If I refresh again, still 11 categories. So why are they not adding is because it is trying to see if there is a new category with this name international or what is we are creating, and if it finds it, it returns false, so it does not save it. Okay, so if I want to create maybe another category, I can say maybe gossip news, gossip, like this. So if you look into our categories, you don't have a category of gossip. So what should we expect? We should expect a new category of gossip. So if I refresh, you see gossip category has been created. But if I refresh again, still it is only one. So they are not allowing multiple category. So that is how you make use of those hooks. However, you can make even much more use of it. For example, I want all my categories to be in capital letters by default. So here, before you save, you can do some logic. For example, I want to convert them to capital letters. Okay, so I can just simply say to uppercase. I mean STR to uppercase to upper, and then I put that category like that. So it means that if I create a category, it will be changed to what? To uppercase. Okay, I mean this particular name will be changed to uppercase. It can be any variable. Okay, so if I come and refresh, see gossip is still there. So let us go ahead and create a new category. I come and change this one, maybe celebrity news. Celebrity news, something like this. Okay, like this. So it means that this celebrity news is going to be changed to what? To capital letter. Why is it capital letter while others are small letters? It is because we created a hook before saving here, and we changed it to what? To capital letter. And we are able to get an item which has a capital letter in the database. So you can make any use of these hooks that you want. And then you can listen to these remaining ones. For example, you want after finishing created, so you can listen to it by just simply doing the same thing that I've done, but changing the name. So this one will listen to created. So after creating, you can, maybe you want to calculate the total, you want to send an email, you want to do that, you can put this listener. And the beauty about here, it doesn't matter where it has been done from. All of them, they'll be centralized, and you'll do your logic from only one place. So that is it for this video. I hope you have understood, and if you did not, just try to rewatch the video very carefully, and you'll be able to do what? To understand, because these things are very important when you're doing what? You're programming, and they will simplify your life once you program them, once you understand them. Okay, let's meet in the next video, where we are going to look at relationships. That is also another important part of Laravel. So we're going to look at how we can relate different models and different types of relationships in Laravel. Thank you for watching up this point. Make sure that you understand everything, and let us meet in the next video. And don't miss, and remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and goodbye.